Welcome, Per. It's nice to have you here. You were one of the founders of Proact. Can you tell me how you started it?
Yeah, a long time ago when we think about it, the world, back in the mid-90s was focused around the CPU, the computer. And we had the idea that actually what's outside the CPU is going to be more important, not just good technology. It was also about the skills.
And what was your strategy for the company?
One of the very important things, and still the foundation of a Proact, is this technical foundation with our own support. So when something breaks, then you call us and we help you. Because focusing on the customer gives you two things. It gives you a relationship, maybe even a partnership over time. It also gives you some ideas and hints for the future. Some of the biggest innovations of Proact was coming from our customers.
Moving into the next decade, what were the technical trends then?
I think what we saw after the first 10-ish year was that customers were looking for bigger parts of the infrastructure. So we saw the emergence of infrastructure packages where you combine the storage, the network, the servers, and also the hypervisor level. So we were starting to go a little bit outside where we've been in the first decade.
What would you say differs the most compared to the first 10 years?
More countries, a wider focus, the technology stack becoming wider, the services becoming wider. And of course, with that, there's some opportunities, but also some difficulties. So we're kind of starting to be a more international company.
So what happened with the customers in the next decade?
I think a lot has happened already. A realization that IT is not something, back in a data center. It's in the palm of your hand with the powerful smartphones we have today and the rise of all types of applications that you can use yourself.
Could you give me some highlights from the last decade?
We added more services capability than ever through organic growth, investments, and through acquisitions. We have added the capabilities in several of our business units to do more around the hyperscalers, around the public cloud. Of course, 2019, we turned 25, and the year before, we had Jonas Hasselberg joining as the new CEO of Proact.
What would you say differs the most in this decade compared to the first 10 years?
I'm not sure it's so much different, but it's definitely more and faster. And when we look at what our customers are trying to do, they use IT to really solve mission-critical problems for them, and sometimes even life-critical problems. We deliver IT to governments, defense, nuclear power plants, hospitals. So we need to be ahead of them in terms of the technology curve. We need to be able to understand their business problems. We need to deliver future-proof solutions. Moving forward, we're still writing our future. We've been pretty good in spotting these trends in the past, and I know you're my chief brain officer. You're the one that try to think ahead. But if we look forward then, what is on the horizon, do you think?
There is some amount of prediction, but I think it's equally important to have agility and adaptation. Where is AI going to take us? This whole new idea about we actually, with software, programmatically consume IT, and by that drive a tremendous amount of change and speed and agility. I think in there lies a lot of the future. The amount of power that needs to generate that is a concern. And then we come into the sustainability. We cannot just keep throwing energy and resources. We have to think about, what are we getting out on the other end? But at the end of the day, I think customers are going to be looking for someone for help, for advice, someone they can bounce idea off. Technology in 5-10 years, I have no clue. To be honest, we never had a clue. Obviously, we're going to see a lot more for your techie geeks out there, people actually building more things themselves. And I think we're going to see the open source mentality of IT going from the most advanced users who really created a business from the ground up.
But one thing that I'm excited about, it all started back in the days with data, and it's still about data. It's not storage only anymore. It's about getting real value out of data, the power of data.
The ones and zeros created by users or devices over our AI algorithm, that is the thing that we started. So I guess we had a good idea, started in a good place and kept going.
But it's interesting when you're saying we can't predict the future, but we can be adaptable and always be ahead of our customers. So we need to understand their business requirements. We need to be agile so we can support their mission-critical needs. We need to definitely be more software-driven. But you're adding two things. We need to be sustainable, primarily energy efficiency, renewable energy, and we need to be resilient. So our solutions need to be resilient, withstand incidents and cyber attacks, all the not so good things about IT. But the funny thing, when I try to put all this together in my head, there's two things that made us successful for 30 years. Customer focus and be really good at what we do. And now we're looking for the 30 years to come, and what we need to do is customer focus and be really good at what we do. 30 more years.
Doesn't sound too hard, does it?